Welcome to Basketball U. If you're new to Basketball U, make sure you slam dunk that subscribe button. And just to make sure you don't miss a thing, make sure you tap that notification bell right after you hit that subscribe button. Welcome back to Basketball U. If you haven't touched that subscribe button, you know what to do. This is our new series, and we are highlighting the guys and girls that do all the dirty work that sometimes ends up on the stat sheet and sometimes it doesn't. But would there really be superstars without these types of players on the team? Take a seat and relax, and welcome to the world of role players. Now, these players are considered to be the least favorites in the game of basketball because it's a role that takes a lot of character, effort, and no spotlight. What is a role player, you ask? A role player could be a starter who has a special skill, such as being a great defensive player, a great rebounder, or a point guard who can handle the ball and pass. A role player is often the player who comes off the bench. He or she understands and accepts his or her role on the team. Role players typically don't start out as a role player right away. Some role players develop from high lottery picks, not being able to carry a franchise the way the organization expected them to do. What we tend to forget as fans of the game is a lot of these high lottery picks are usually 19 to 21 years old. Can you imagine carrying a whole franchise and city on the weight of your shoulders to bring them back from the depths of the conference and back to the playoffs? Exactly. Tougher than it looks when you have to go against the likes of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, Devin Booker, night in and night out, not to get things confused. But when someone says role player, they think someone coming off the bench. But in all reality, your best role player can be in the starting lineup. So what does a role player do exactly? They fill the void that the team struggles in at certain points of the game, or in certain statistical areas depending on the team. Here we have a variation of specialists that come in and make an impact. The most popular role player in this new era of basketball is the 3-and-D guy, meaning they shoot the three-point shot down well and they take on the responsibility of guarding the best player or the hottest player in the game at the time of play. They are typically wing players who combine two of the most in-demand skills in the new era of basketball. The ability to shoot on a high level, hence the three, and the ability to guard 3 or 4 positions on the floor. The spot usually gets you anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes a game, depending on how well they're doing their job. The downfall of why some 3-and-D players can't stay on the floor, they typically aren't efficient when put in an isolation situation, and they don't defend the rim well. This type of player, jack of all trades, is unique because they have the ability to guard all 5 positions. They have a rare ability to push the ball up the floor and play make in transition, just as efficient as your point guard would. A lot of times they are underrated shooters, but knock down the open shot when given the opportunity. Some weakness they run into when having a jack of all trades is some attributes don't go well for them, and it tends to carry over, which may end up lacking in the other areas they are good at. These type of players play off the flow of the game. If there is no flow, there is no go. Here we got the rim defender and rebounder. These centers who offer an inside presence tend to steer away the scorers, who base most of their shot attempts inside the paint. This messes up the flow and team strategy if they base most of their offense on scoring inside. The only thing about these type of players is they tend to lack perimeter defense and shooting. Even though the game is evolving, the bigs still need a little work from the outside. Most of their scoring opportunities come off of second chance points, running the floor, or being wide open under the basket and being set up with a pass from a guard driving. And here we got the backup point guard. These are typically former starters and are slowing down in either their athleticism or ability to something as well as they did in past seasons, such as scoring or guarding the better starter over the years. They are valuable to you when you don't have as many scoring wings to sub in, or just someone can't play make at a certain period of the game. The things for these players that don't allow them to start could be a number of things, but the tendency you see the most is just not having the ability to log major minutes anymore. But they still have a huge impact on the game as a whole, and they have a tendency to also not being able to stay in front of younger, more athletic players coming off another team's bench trying to prove their worth. Now, these role players can make it rain beyond the arc. 3-point specialists. They can shoot the ball. And just in case I didn't make it clear, they can shoot the ball. They aren't too great at defense, and typically are used in pick and rolls and set up in mismatches to be scored on. They don't put the ball on the floor for more than 1 or 2 dribbles. Now, this player comes off the bench just as important as a starter. They're known as the 6th man. They know they're coming with the intentions of bringing immediate energy and scoring, and they score at such a high rate that they become more popular than most starters because of their role of scoring. A weakness of a 6th man could be shooting shots at the wrong time and not facilitating the ball to players and making plays. And if they're not scoring, most 6th men aren't that effective on the defensive end. Speaking of the past, here are a few players to recognize who played a big role as role players we probably won't get a chance to mention. Hershey Hawkins, Jerome Kersey, Jeff Hornacek, Anthony Peeler, Dale Ellis, Robert Pack, Dennis Scott, Bonzi Wells, Jeff McGinnis, Danny Manning, PJ Brown, Jim Jackson, Brian Russell, D. Brown, Sean Bradley, Nate McMillan, Austin Crozier, Detlef Shrimp, Danny Ainge, Dennis Johnson, and there are many more who added to the success of their teams. Speaking of that, we have a couple different social media pages you should check out that will play a role in making Basketball U spread the word of hoops worldwide. Be sure to check out our Instagram page, where we will be showcasing women's basketball content and also a World of Hoops series highlighting hoops from around the world, and Basketball U 5-on-5 news updating you the latest on basketball on all levels and social media. Our Twitter will have some motivational things for you to tap into, and always give you a space for your opinion or your vote on any and every debatable topic in basketball. And we also have the blog, which will keep you up to date on what's going on in the world of basketball and Basketball U. Welcome to the new series of role players. We really hope you enjoyed that overview of what a role player is, and we can't wait to give you all the cool stories of the players from past to present. This is Basketball U. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, Follow all of our social medias right there in the description to keep yourself up to date, as this channel will have a lot of basketball, a lot of players, and a lot of training and more information on how to play the game of basketball. Remember, someone's always working. Are you?